That ain't that bad. It's a bodily function.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about dick going anywhere.
Yeah, we weren't talking about it.
That's good. Alrighty guys, what's going on? Welcome to the video. I have a couple friends with me today. We have Mark Bell here, we have Big Squats here, we have Silent Mike here, and we just finished our wonderful weekend at the Super Training Gym. And we're gonna end the weekend with a Q&A. We all posted on Instagram the same exact photo, so we can get some questions.
Mark and I are very fat, and you two are both very fit. And one of the questions is best tips for cutting.
Lettuce.
Oh, lettuce and ice? That's what we're doing.
Do you eat like a head of
Somebody's
lettuce a day?
depressed and they're cutting
A bag of shredded lettuce a day.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
A bag of lettuce a day?
Yeah, that's how I got through life.
You sound very regular, I bet.
Because salad. Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Also very small. Like, no offense, but you weigh,
Yeah.
what were you weighing, like, stage weight?
113.
113.
I'm like 125
So
now.
your calories are...
Yeah, they're like
I'm like
lower.
50
Definitely
pounds heavier than that right now.
Right, so obviously your calorie intake depends on how small you are, what your metabolism is like, how much you need to
Is there
maintain,
anything
things
more
like that.
fun we can eat than a bag of lettuce?
I've been through a lot of cutting phases in the last few years of competitions, and I didn't have long enough off season for my metabolism to recover. Last year I was planning on that, but the spokesmodel search happened for bodybuilding.com. I had to cut in the middle of the winter, so I haven't had any longer than 4 months in like a consecutive time span for an off season.
Did you hear about the 2017 spokesmodel search?
What about it that you're gonna win?
Me and Megs are going
You
in
and
at
Megs?
30% body fat, and we're gonna win it.
You guys
I'll
are
be
gonna change the
35.
game. Yeah, no, that'll be
Bodybuilding, Amanda,
Yeah.
not body
That's
cutting
what
down.
she keeps telling
Yeah.
me. I'm like in the wrong
You gotta
sport.
build, sometimes building your body is like building some fat.
We're gonna make it the
Yeah.
thick search.
Yeah.
Sure,
We keep
people
joking
love
about
that.
this, but
No,
I think
I think
the
it's actually
bodybuilding.com
really
people that have been there are like, let's find a way to make them not do it.
Our profile keeps getting deleted.
They don't have a
I
body
swore I
space.
signed up.
Well, the spokesmodel search, the end of it is you get on stage and compete. Essentially, like you cut for the spokesmodel search.
We're gonna take a hard
fight.
pass.
We'll
But-
sumo fight.
Just gonna keep getting bigger than that.
Yeah, just belly bump on stage.
Yeah, we're gonna bulk into
That would
it.
be fun.
See?
I would be
I
funny.
would
both
like
right?
No
that.
cutting tips. Anybody got one?
Once you get down into a deficit, you're going to be a little bit more hungry, so you have to find a way to volume eat something that's going to fill your stomach up more than just something small. So again, salads were a huge thing for me. Drinking a lot of water
Lean
making
meats
sure
you can eat a little bit more of than
Yeah,
something
so, like,
fattier, right?
instead of getting like a burger, get like a chicken sandwich or something
Yeah.
like that. Depending on what you're doing to cut, like if you're actually tracking your calories, tracking your macros, you have to pay attention to that anyway. Filling foods.
Besides like tracking, I'm obviously a big fan of tracking, but if like that's maybe too many steps away from what you already do,
Yeah.
I have like some sets of rules I throw at people, like don't stare at a screen when you eat,
Yeah.
like set a plate. Like,
I always tell people never shop when you're hungry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some
That's a big
basic
mistake.
stuff.
You end up with all kinds of shit in your
That's true.
grocery bag.
That's
If-
true.
yeah, we talk about it on the podcast, but if you're going to eat some kind of less healthy food or more calorically dense food, ice cream, cookies, go out to buy it.
Yeah.
Don't have them in your house.
Oh,
Don't have
yeah.
a case of 12
Don't
in your
keep
house.
stuff in your house.
Yeah, go buy one. It's okay to have some of that stuff,
Yeah.
but go buy one instead of buying the case. Another thing is to weigh yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to get obsessed with numbers, and there's other things and other stories we can get to, but you have to track what you're doing, right? I ate this way this day, and it had this effect.
Right.
Because less food isn't always the answer.
No, absolutely
It's
not.
a-
Sometimes it's a little bit more food can help the fat loss.
Yeah.
phase as
You
well.
obviously have to trend downwards. You don't
Right.
get to eat whatever you want, but those are just some easy ones. What does fitness mean to you?
Oh, are you looking at the questions?
Yeah, I'm on your page.
What does fitness mean to me? Fitness is really all-encompassing. There's lots of varieties of fitness. It's not just one set of one something anymore. I think fitness is being healthy, which is another like kind of variable term. Healthy mentally, healthy physically, not having anything like wrong with your blood work and stuff like that, and just being in the gym, training however you kind of want to, not even necessarily being in the gym. You don't have to be in the gym. Like I said, it's a super wide variety of things. Like everyone trains a different way, but find something that you love to do and continue to do it. Exercise, be healthy. That's really, I feel like I rambled.
I feel like mine's a little more fat than that, but more fatness than fitness. But
Well,
for me, fitness
To a
means
point.
I'm able, like personally, I'm able to do the things that I want to do to enjoy my life. So I like to ride my bike, and I live in New York City, so I like to ride my bike around the city. I find it fun. I feel like a little kid when I'm doing it. So
Cool.
I won't be happy if I'm not able to do that.
No.
So
Right.
I like to power lift, and that's like my number
And you
one
like
goal.
food,
And
so
I
the
like
exercise
food.
helps you to eat
Exactly.
food.
It's fuel for the exercise, which makes you happy.
Yeah, exactly. I first started like getting back on the bike train. I was not so fit.
Yep.
It's good to keep in mind like what I want to do to enjoy my life and making sure that I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you get closer and closer to a meet, or you're like so obsessed with powerlifting, like, oh, I don't want to be so fatigued before my session. Like that's not really a fun life. That's not how I want to live my life. Like, I still want to ride my bike and
Similar to a bodybuilding show, like once you get really, really close to the end, you literally can't do anything
You're
except
less
for your
fit.
training.
Right.
Yeah, you're actually not healthy. You're
Yeah.
less fit.
Yeah.
So
Same
finding
thing
a
happens
balance.
with powerlifting.
Very
Yeah.
much so. I think that's the whole industry. And
Yeah.
if there's something that's wrong with the industry, is that it starts as health and fitness, and it leads to unhealth and unfit.
And
Because
even
it's about
CrossFit,
extremes.
where it looks like they're really well balanced,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of holes in their game as
Yeah,
well.
they could be injured, they could be malnourished, they could be
Yeah.
tired. Fitness and all these things, like we said, are specific to you. And so a big thing for me in fitness and what it means to me, without getting philosophical or whatever, is like to make some kind of goals and then to chase those goals down. And for me, I do want to pull 800. Do I talk about that all the time? No, because it's so far away, and I may not ever pull it. But the goal is to always chase that.
Right.
And then if I'm heading in that direction, then I'm getting whatever fitter or healthier for me, right? Because those are my goals.
Fittier.
Yeah.
Fittier.
Oh, that's not a word.
More fitter.
It's
more
Now.
fitterist.
Fitter. I'm getting fittier in Whittier, which is in LA. Just kidding.
I'm
But
gonna make that the title of the video.
Fittier and Whittier. So you're trying to just get closer and better, right? Improving,
Right.
progress. Progress is number one to me.
Always improving.
Rather than like being stale. Even if you, in my opinion, if you are doing the things you want and you can do the things you want in life, I always want progress. And
Right.
so like fitness is a cliche journey, but to get closer to that
Right.
end point.
Yeah, the great thing about it is there are a lot of different things to do. So you could power lift, you could do bikini, you can ride your bike, you can do all these different things.
The Food Olympics.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going for.
Hashtag fitness.
exactly. But because you have all those options, you can set goals in each thing. I've gotten down to 245 pounds and gotten shredded before, and I've been all the way up to 330 pounds and squatted at 1,080 in a meet and benched 854 and had all these different goals to do different things. Now I'm chasing a 600-pound raw bench, and for me, that's kind of like what fitness is to me, is to kind of like Mike's saying, get a goal, chase down that goal, check that goal off the list, and then
Yeah.
get to the next thing. However, trying not to get too far, which I know that I get unhealthy because it's part of what we do as powerlifters sometimes, and maybe I take it a little bit too extreme than others, but that's sort of my personality. But to not get too far away from general health, general fitness, try to always maintain some of that at least.
Would you rather have dry, itchy eyes, which you've been having some trouble with,
Dealing with lately.
or
That's the
a
worst.
runny nose?
Which you did today.
Yeah, you
because I
boogered
snotted,
yourself.
I snotted on myself today.
Like a 6-year-old.
So I've had an
was
allergic
gross.
reaction on my eyes, and Meg snotted herself today when she was deadlifting 400 pounds.
Would you rather have? Which would you rather have for the rest of your life?
The nose.
The nose, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, runny nose.
Are you like a
Guys.
dog with a wet nose?
I feel like
I
I
just
always have, you either have, I always have like a clogged nose or crooked nose. I don't know what a normal nose feels like. I get the nose jokes. I get it.
Good
This-
question. Good question.
What program style best helps you break through a plateau, whether that be on bench or deadlift?
I feel like you guys can probably answer that better than me, 'cause I'm still new.
No training style,
Itself.
is going to fix everyone's problem.
Every training style sucks is what we're trying to say.
But if you're mega plateaued and you've already fixed nutrition, sleep, and recovery, then you have to change something, whether that be volume, sets times reps times weight, intensity closer to 1 rep max, or frequency, which is doing the lift more often. Often if you've mega plateaued, something that I go to is doing the lift more often. Because you can't automatically get more volume in that way. So if you're benching once a week and you've been stuck at 225 forever, try benching twice a week. Where one day you're hitting like 205 for triples, and the other day you're hitting like 185 for sets of 5 to 10. And that'll add another stimulus, add more volume, which is obviously the main pusher, the main coal to this fire of making gains.
There you go.
Two
Nice.
fastest ways to make lifts feel easier. Number one is to gain weight.
Thick.
Yeah, if you gain
Get
4 or
thicker.
5 pounds over the course of
Thicker.
2 weeks, your squat's going to feel easier. The other way would be to improve your form. So every time you lift, you got to make sure you have picture perfect form. Make sure you always kind of hone that in and video it, have other people watch it, have somebody coach you on every rep, and that will improve you the fastest, and then you're going to recover from your workouts better because you're not all bent over every time you do a deadlift, every time you do a squat. That's going to lead to the fastest gains.
Yeah, long story short, being a coach or sticking to a program is probably going to get your answer because we are a little bit individual, and you may have, maybe a total issue that we're not covering.
If you're lost, just do 5 sets of 5 and do it the right way.
All right.
Amanda, on that,
Oh, go ahead.
last question on that. You, since your bikini show, have been putting on a little more weight too.
Yeah.
Not that I've noticed, but you told
Yeah, that's,
me.
whoa. We've noticed you've been putting on some pounds.
You've been backing on the
We've
pounds.
been watching your YouTubes, and what we saw,
Anyways,
But my question is,
Hater.
what do you say to some of your following who maybe as opposed to ours, they might not be as comfortable with putting on
Yeah.
weight?
So
what do you say, like some
Mark
tips?
says, like,
What are
put
you
on
saying
5
about
pounds.
what are you saying about us then?
no, I'm just
In
saying.
that comment.
Well,
I'm
it's
saying there's some big ass
thing.
dudes following your stuff and they're like, hell yeah, I'll eat more.
Yeah, no, I know, but my following might just look at your comment and say like, put on 5 pounds, like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of that. It's like scary
Right.
for the girls especially. Looking at people who like bikini competitors and they see a bikini competitor and they're like, that's what I want to look like.
Yeah.
And putting on weight is like a terrifying thing. I've gone through that a few times, like my first couple shows and then post show.
Right.
You put on weight. It's very normal, but I did not realize that. And many people don't realize that you're like supposed to put on weight, especially as a female. You're supposed to have some fat on you. My channel kind of like heard about that a little bit. I put on 10 pounds or so since my show, and really just like being comfortable with yourself and what you look like at any stage is really, really important. And for me, powerlifting has helped me be okay with that and realize that food is fuel. I'm gonna get stronger when I have a little bit more weight on me, and I need that weight on me to perform better. So performance in the gym is huge.
Something I think everybody should keep in mind all the time is that training is the most important thing. And so if you do put on a little bit of weight, but your training is more efficient, that's going to lead to a longer career in whatever it is you're doing. So if Amanda gains 5 pounds, 3 pounds, 8 pounds, and over time gains 12 or 15 pounds, she may look a lot different, but it's going to be easier for her to go up and down in weight. Now, she doesn't want to ever get too far away from her stage weight, too far away from her conditioning. She doesn't have to increase her body fat all the time, just small changes and small gains over a long period of time. But you always are trying to look for what's going to give you the best workout.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're after. So if getting extra sleep, if eating extra food, people talk about low carb diets all the time. I love low carb diets, but they don't give you the best workout.
No, by the end of the
So
prep, you literally, like, working out as a job, you don't want to do it. You're weak as shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. I can't do anything. I can't even put a bar on my back while I'm like a couple of weeks out from a show. Like,
Right.
you're just. People see a bodybuilder on stage and they're like, wow, that's like the definition of fitness, but then they're the weakest person in the world in comparison to anybody. So
If
Yeah.
you can't train hard, you're not going to get the results.
Yeah, Mark and I
Yeah.
have never competed in like physique and stuff, but we both try to get pretty lean. We both fluctuated 30, 40 pounds.
and then your
in
lifts
years.
suffered.
Right, and but I think you have to just change the mindset for both, right? Like
Yeah.
kind of you were talking about, like now it's time to make gains. Now it's time to lift more weight, and as
Right.
long as that's going up, like Mark mentioned, then at least I'm heading in the right direction to put on the right kind of weight. Some fat gain will happen. And it's
Right.
kind of pretty much impossible. And then the opposite, when you're trying to lose weight or eat less, you're trying to still fuel that workout and know that, yeah, I may lose some muscle in this journey, but I'm focused on burning this fat and keeping those gains as I go down, still lifting heavy, training hard. This is, I think, good because none of us are involved really. Thoughts on Olympic lifting? Olympic lifting, I don't know the term or
Okay.
where it came about, but I know weightlifters will be very upset at that.
Right.
The sport is weightlifting, maybe some type of physique in categories of bikini figure, whatever,
Hey,
and then powerlifting.
Powerlifting can possibly be Olympic lifting.
Right,
it gets in
hopefully.
there.
Right.
Right. And that's what, when people are like, oh, I'm going to try Olympic lifting, it's like, how, you're going to be in
So
Rio?
go to the Olympics?
You're going to go to the
Yeah.
Olympics? So,
but then
call it
on the
weightlifting.
opposite, as a powerlifter, I'm allowed to lift weights, but I'm not allowed to be a weightlifter. How about that one?
Yeah,
That's true.
okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, people get really, really
Yeah.
offended by the terms.
Yeah,
for
but the
sure.
sport is weightlifting. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
It's definitely something hard. It's like a skill you have to really practice and make sure you're coached the correct way,
Yeah.
the movements the right way. And I haven't done it, so I think it's pretty impressive, to be honest. So
Not something you're going to pursue.
I mean, maybe in the future I'll never
Yeah,
say never.
you might get
I'm
bored.
still new. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still new.
It's
At
one
powerlifting.
of, so I've competed twice in sanctioned meets and once in
Weightlifting?
non-sanctioned. Yeah.
Oh, damn, look at
So
you, Max Squats.
I had a background in CrossFit, so I was used to snatching and clean and jerking. Ugly.
Yeah.
I wasn't the best, and I would muscle it up there. You can tell when 2 lifters or 3 lifters are battling each other, and you can tell who wins, which
What
is
about
fun.
the quiet environment? I don't like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like completely different
It's like
environment.
golf. Yeah, it's like golf or tennis or something.
Yeah. Unless someone gets stuck at the bottom of the clean, then everyone's like, come on.
It seems like it's more technical than powerlifting in some ways. There's a little bit more movement going on than what goes on in powerlifting. And it's kind of a speed game. It's how fast can somebody drop underneath the barbell when they get the barbell moving in a certain direction. It's cool to see the mobility and the strength. The strength is measured in so many different ways, and there's so many forms of strength that I admire, even in something like gymnastics. You know, somebody doing the rings, or somebody doing the pommel horse, or somebody doing a floor routine and doing flips.
Yeah.
Figure skating. I mean, there's tremendous amounts of strength in so many different sports, and the strength that comes from weightlifting is pretty cool to watch.
That's going to conclude this Q&A. If you want to watch parts 1 and 2, is that what we?
1 and 3.
Whatever.
17.
1 and 17.
It's like Star Wars.
You can go to Meg Squat's channel and Silent Mike's channel. I'll link them down in the description box below. Make sure you guys subscribe to them because they're both amazing YouTubers. I like them.
Amazing.
And
There's
we're
some
gonna.
nice people.
There's some good people.
All right.
And that's gonna conclude this video. Thank you guys for watching. Give the video a thumbs up on your way out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Like Star Wars. Meg wouldn't know what Star Wars is.